Okay, guys, so we are live. Let me know if this works. We should be pretty good. Over the weekend, I corrected any of the issues that I had with my internet and sound, so we should be pretty good today. Let me just get logged in. I was gonna stream outside, but for whatever reason, the power outlets outside just didn't work. So we got to run it inside. Let me know if everything's smooth. Should be good. What's up, Pawn, King, Faye, JP? I'm logging into some charting stuff right now, so just give me a second and let me know how the sound is. I'm also going to get Epidemic Sounds logged in. We should be here logged in already. Yeah. So we are in there. Good. Yeah. All right, give me a second. I'm going to go grab my coffee here in a second. And let me know if you can hear the music now. We just put the music up. Toss says it's downloading updates. So I'm going to put Top Step X up here. We've had a pretty good week with Top Step X, to be honest. They also updated the trade copier, but I'll put this up for now. So a lot of news is happening over the weekend. Yeah, we should be pretty good. Like everything should be pretty clean. We're up and running. The only problem is Toss is taking forever to load, but that's all right. Let me fix this. Yeah, you see the NASDAQ up to 21,780s right now, 21,780s. Let me get logged in here. All right, so stream's running good. Yeah, sorry I'm a little late. I was trying to go outside so I wouldn't wake everybody in my house up right now, but that'll have to happen another day because the plugs out there don't work. Now we got toss up. Let's put that up here. We're gonna put full screen, minimize this. This a little bit larger up here. I'll put it on my face for a second while toss loads. So yeah, after a relatively strong payroll report last week, we had a lot of pretty good news over the weekend. We're gonna get into it in just a second. I'm just trying to make sure the stream is clean and running here well, which we need it to be pretty good, I think. Let me go to charts and then detach. There we go. Here's NVIDIA on the right side. Let me okay, so we can put our charts back up. Look, here you go. There's NVIDIA on the right side. We got the NASDAQ sitting there. We'll put a 1 minute chart up just to watch. We put like Apple up here, NVIDIA. So we did have a couple news stories that came out today. Let's talk about it. Let me also get some of these payroll stuff out the way and get rid of some of these banners. This one specifically, and this one needs to go down so we can update it. Yeah, and there's pretty big trade news that happened over the weekend. Snowflake is planning to, the Snowflake chairman is planning to sell $600 million worth of stocks The U.S. and China are set to meet in London. So this week they're expected to take up a series of disputes and talks that have buffeted relationships, threatening a fragile truce over tariffs. Both sides agreed in Geneva last month to a 90-day pause. But then since, they both exchanged pretty angry stuff over semiconductors that power AI, rare earths and more. So all right, we got that set up. I think what I'm the most disappointed about is my mouse this morning. I'm gonna have to put my mouse over something else. There's a towel. I wonder if a towel or... What's up, Beach? Yeah, Bitcoin up big today. Look, here's Bitcoin. Bottom right chart. Bitcoin futures up to almost 108, but actual spot Bitcoin's at about 107 or a little bit higher than that. So it's doing pretty good this morning. Yeah, it was weird. I got this weird email from OpenAI that said that I was banned. They were like, we looked at your... They were like, we looked at your stuff and you're banned. And I'm like, I'm banned. And I sent them an email back being like, what did I do? I was like, all I do is program on this thing, bro. Like, all I do is program and get market news and ask about sports. Like, show me where I broke rules. And they sent me another email back and they were like, they said, oh, my bad. We accidentally banned your account. It wasn't legitimate. You're able to log back in again. So for like half a day, I was kind of panicked, but they reversed it for whatever reason. So, hey, I guess they did what was right. All right, so we're going to do a poll this morning. Look at this big spike coming in markets right now. This market's spiking up a little bit. Yeah, we got the WWDC keynote address later. Counterpoint research say Apple may raise iPhone 17 prices amid rising tariff and supply chain costs. We got AVGO, which had an upgrade over the weekend, is up a little bit this morning. AI startup Scale AI is considering a Chapter 11. Tesla is downgraded to 2.5% and is 2.5% down. Some this morning. We got the Japanese government mulling cash handouts without income cap as part of its election pledge. And then China saying it works to cut rare earth control impact on trade. But look at the NASDAQ pop up a little bit here. The Japan Chamber of Commerce in China says some rare earth exports have begun to be approved. Says China's Commerce Ministry have expressed understanding of situation of Japanese companies in China, commitment to facilitating smooth business operations. Also, JP Morgan's desk say that they reiterate their tactical bullish call. They say the S&P's all-time high is 2.4% away, and we think we take that out this week or next week. So JP Morgan calling bullish right now. Do you guys agree with JP Morgan? You know what? I'm going to do a poll on that. All right. The question is just going to be, with JP Morgan calling an all-time high break in the market over the next 2 weeks, do you agree? Yes or no? Vote on the poll. There's the poll live right now. Yeah, I'll be right back. I gotta go grab some coffee here. Okay. Yeah, look at the NASDAQ. So zooming out a little bit here. Here's the NQ. Really nice range all morning. All right, so look at the NASDAQ still pushing up. It's at 21,812. 21,812. Let me know how the stream's running. The stream should be pretty good. But so we got CPI inflation data coming out June 11th in 2 days at 8:30. Economists are expecting about 2.5% year-over-year. Consumer price index, that's up from 2.3% in April, with core inflation at 3.1%. So they are expecting inflation to bump up a little bit. So they are expecting inflation to rise some, and so this is probably something we want to pay attention to just based off of everything going on. Yeah, look, we got a little dip here. Kind of thinking about buying it, but we'll watch it a little bit closer. Nvidia up to 140 still. Bitcoin still rising. Look at Bitcoin rising. So the Bureau of Labor Statistics noted minor seasonal adjustments and downward revisions to volatile components amid collection changes. We also have PPI on Thursday, could complement CPI and guiding Fed stuff. Remember on Friday we had non-farm payrolls. They showed up higher than expected at 139,000. Unemployment stayed the same at 4.2%, which was slightly above estimates for payrolls at 130, but April and March were revised down by 95K. So a little bit of weaker earlier data revisions. This boosted yields, made yields up, showing stronger labor markets and less of a need to cut rates. Slashed odds of a June rate cut now virtually zero. So on the 18th, we are almost certainly not going to cut rates this month after strong payroll data. You know, that's something that most people are agreeing are objectively true now. We also, again, like I said earlier, we had news that U.S. and China are meeting in London today following a call that they made. Markets are bullish on a potential truce. China's May export slowdown tied to U.S. tariffs. Factory gate deflation deepened, according to Reuters. And new U.S. tariffs on steel and aluminum doubled last week from 25 to 50%. You know, the president and Elon have kind of cooled things down a little bit. I don't think they like each other, but they've kind of cooled it down some. And there's still the ongoing 25 trade war with Canada and Mexico, with the U.S. 25% tariff on most goods since March and April. S&P is pretty close to record highs, 2.4% away. This is where a poll comes from, 2.4% away. Futures are pretty flat, waiting for inflation and stuff. Gold is dropping due to strong jobs and improved trade sentiment. Oil and the dollar are slightly lower amid global optimism. Bitcoin is up though a little bit today. Look at it, it's up to 108. Again, we got CPI Wednesday, PPI Thursday, ongoing China trade negotiations, and I think we have Apple's WWDC event. 75% likely that we're going to get a rate cut in September. Let's take a look at where bond yields are. Okay, so here's bond yields. Over 4.5% right now after payroll data came out last week. Where are we at? Go away. Yeah, you can see cut up a 5-day chart tune in here. You see they're kind of spiking up a little bit this morning though. You can see bond yields got over 4.5% this morning. So here's 10-year. And again, looking at the odds of rate decisions. You know, now there's honestly no chance of a cut in June. Look at this. There's literally no chance of a cut in June, and there's a 0.1% chance of a rate hike, of a 25 basis point rate hike. So after payroll data, there's no chance of a cut, and there's a 0.1% chance of a hike. Still not going to happen, but interesting to see that you're saying there's a chance. We'll see what happens there. Crash starts this week. All right, Nvidia's shooting up. Bitcoin is up too. I'm assuming LSU won their game yesterday. I didn't finish it because I had to go to sleep, but I hope West Virginia didn't come back. Good. Okay, they did win. All right, so LSU going to Omaha. Good for them. Good. Sold a bunch of IBIT Bitcoin ETF this morning. I'm not really shrugging it off. I just don't know. You know how many times I hear people predict crashes? Like, I hear people predict crashes literally constantly. Eventually you do start to tune them out. But maybe you're right. I don't know. All right, so the time in London, they haven't really officially disclosed when the US-China trade talks are going to happen. A Guardian live update reported this discussion went underway by 12:23 BST, which is British Summer Time, on Monday, June 9th. So today corresponds to approximately 7:23 Eastern Time, given the 5-hour difference. But we can reasonably infer this session likely begins sometime between 11 and 12 BST, which is 6 to 7 a.m. Eastern Time, and expected to at least last a full day. So the talks probably started early this morning, around 6 to 7, and are ongoing and likely to continue. And we'll see if that influences news and stuff. Okay, so the NEC director Hassett says that the US-China meeting today will be short, but will bear results. So hopefully good results. But again, NEC Director Hassett says US-China meeting today will be short, but bear results. So we also are still pushing up here. Do I want to trade some of this? Yeah, no. I kind of want to buy this dip. I'm going to let it dip a little bit more. Like if it pulls back to like 94s. Actually, you know what? If it gets down to 800, I'll probably buy this. Small. We'll take a little feeler trade. We made pretty good money last week, so, you know. Yeah, O'Malley, man. Marab's just different, though. Like, Marab is really just different. Here, I can put this so you guys can actually see me a little bit better, but Marab is just different. Hold on. I'm gonna put myself up real quick. Hold on. Okay, I saw some text in the background. I didn't want to. Dude, I do not like the new windows. All right, that's better. Yeah, I'll put myself over here. I should have maybe bought this dip. I wanted to buy 8s. It got down to 804s, 803s. So we'll still see if we get a second here to trade. Bitcoin's still pushing up. Looks good. Apple. Yeah, let's see if Bitcoin can get over 150s. 150 big kind of milestone area for Bitcoin. If we can get over that, it might start testing all-time highs. And I think if Nvidia starts to test all-time highs, the rest of the market will as well. CPI up and no hike equals bearish for risk on assets. Yeah, I mean, CPI higher with no hike. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't think one CPI report shows we need a hike rate. But I also fear inflation. So, I mean, I don't know. I'd prefer pauses versus hikes just for balance, but I also understand wanting to combat inflation. And I fear inflation more than everything else. Something I've said a lot. Honestly, it's true. I fear inflation more than everything else. So. All right, so we're starting to dip. I'm going to start buying here just because we're close enough to 800 for me to be interested in it. We'll add into it for the day. Although I do think you got to be a little bit more careful today based off of what's going on. You know, the range is pretty small still. All right, so we're up a little bit here. Maybe I should have added more, but I'll add more here. Let it roll. All right, we're gonna take half off there, just protect the trade, lock it in like we should. See if we can go a little bit higher, maybe hold the rest break even now. Okay, that's good. See if we can start pushing back up. We got a lot of optimism this morning. That's why I'd prefer to long. We're also over the 200 exponential, but I'm gonna hold this break even, just even if it means a small little trade, just because we're gonna cut it. So we're green now. Maybe it gets back down to 800, we'll buy it again. Yeah, we got Tesla downgrades. Let's take a look at that. I'll put this up a little bit more, but there's Tesla on the bottom right. Tesla down to under 300 still at 290s. Yeah, so downgrade for Tesla. Baird cut them to neutral from outperform. Out of 18 Wall Street analysts for Tesla, 10 rated a buy, 4 rated a hold, 4 rated a sell, according to Visible Alpha. He has a 320 price target on Tesla, but Tesla shares are down 26% this year. They're at 290 this morning. Yeah, I mean, we don't really have any like big market news or anything today. That comes later in the week. CPI is the bigger news. You know, so CPI is the much bigger news that you might want to watch for. Now look at this dip. You might buy this dip. I wanted 800, so if we get down to 800, I'd buy it. But you know what? We'll try. Yeah, here's NVIDIA on the top right chart. Tesla looks like it's creeping back up some. It's at 290s. I just want to put the 200 exponential here up. What's up, Clinton? ChatGPT developed 2 components. Oh. That's an interesting case. Will Tesla go down more? I don't know. So it kind of shows some people are thinking about buying it, other people are thinking about selling it. I don't know what Tesla's going to do. Honestly, it's a little too unstable for me to try to bet on it right now, personally. Beefing with the press probably is a risky thing for any company. I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with it. I'm just saying it's risky for a public company. There we go. We're doing pretty good on this little trade. I'm going to go ahead and lock that in there just to take profit. Been attacking the range pretty well, but we'll see if that continues. Yeah, let me draw some of my levels here on this. This level seems to hold right here. I wanted 8s, which is right here. That's kind of the level I was buying. But we got this peak up here. This level seems to be pretty valid. 75 does too. Looks pretty good. We'll just leave these three up. I think these three plus the 200 EMA will give us enough of a playbook to use. Yeah, it's a big week, man. I mean, CPI later this week is obviously huge. Looking at our poll numbers, we did a poll. 69% say yes, we do break all-time highs over the next 2 weeks. 32% say no. 31% say no. Let me know in chat. You think we break all-time highs this week? Or you think it's going to be much later or not at all? The tariff news is that the US and China are meeting in London to discuss tariffs today. So US and China are meeting today in London. You can read that at the bottom of the screen. Yeah, and a lot of this, honestly, looking at charts, is specifically, excuse me, is NVIDIA pushing up. NVIDIA up to 143s almost. So NVIDIA, you can kind of see is green on the day. It closed previously at 141. It's now up to almost 143s. All-time highs are NVIDIA, you got to remember, are not that far away from us. All-time highs are 153. So we're within a range of it. And if NVIDIA starts to push up over that, then the rest of the market will probably follow. We don't really know, but the rest of the market probably would. I think some people saying I think they get a deal done. Maybe. Tesla going up today? Yeah, maybe. It's down a lot. That's plausible. Look at the NASDAQ push up. NASDAQ's getting closer to the high of the day at 21,824s. Hey, see you, Beach. Have a good day, brother. Y'all go check out Beach Bump's channel if you want some good swing trading content. The meeting's probably going on right now, King. I mean, they're not going to give us too much information on it, but it's probably going on right now. I would just be careful too, because a lot of stuff's going on. Hood's not going to get added to the S&P. Might be a little too volatile for the S&P, but who knows? Yeah, we got the robotaxi implementation this week. It's supposed to be what, June 12th? You know, it's not an event. I originally thought it was an event, but apparently it's just them implementing the robotaxis in Austin. So it's not going to be some big like conference or event. It's just them testing out the robotaxis in Austin and then probably giving us updates is my guess. Hey, what's up, Sam? How you doing, bro? Look at Tesla. Tesla is kind of coming back though. Tesla at 292s right now. So Tesla's fighting back. It wants to come back. Nvidia's up. Apple looks strong this morning too. Yeah, I'm just watching for news for a China deal. All right, so Whirlpool is filing for a 1.2 billion two-note senior offering, two-part senior notes offering. Yeah, everybody's kind of watching Elon's posts right now, though. Let's just be honest here. All right, so we had Mexican inflation show up at 0.28%. They expected 0.23%. So we did have Mexico just report a little bit worse than inflation here. 0.28 versus 0.23% headline month-over-month inflation. Also, 12-month inflation showed up at 4.42%. A little bit higher than the 4.38% expected. Mexican core inflation showed up at 0.3 versus the expected 0.27 for May. So little bit worse inflation. I wonder if that's a preview of what we're going to get here in the U.S. on Wednesday and Thursday. Bro, it's hard to figure out what's AI generated nowadays. AI generation is getting so good, man. AI is getting crazy good. So Synchrony SYF stock is reportedly going to win a deal for Walmart credit cards, according to Bloomberg. I'm looking at other news here, but yeah, the big stuff is Apple. You know, Apple, you got the WWDC event. We don't usually cover Apple stuff, but might be worthwhile to pay attention to, see if they move markets. All right, so the China debt portfolios are adding net 11.1 billion from non-residents in May. Stocks at 1.4 billion. The SOFR rate should have been 4.29% versus the same yesterday or the day before. So we had the White House senior advisor Hassett say some stuff as well. We talked about it earlier. He said that he thinks that the meeting is going to be short between the U.S. and China, but that it's going to bear results. This is something he said earlier. But he also said that the U.S. expects export controls will be eased and rare earths will be released in volume. U.S. side seeking handshake on rare earths agreement from China in London. So we'll see if this stuff follows through here, but I think a lot of people are sitting on their hands watching for news. Yeah, for sure, Brown. You can't really tell what's going on, dude. Half of them are fake. Hey, John, you coming to watch your Tigers play in Omaha? Nah. Although I want them to win. I was watching the games over the weekend. LSU beat West Virginia yesterday. Tough games, but good games. Yeah, AI is getting out of control. It's honestly almost scary to a point where you have to question what the world's going to look like, not in 2 years or 3 years, but in 5, 10, 20, 30. That's when it really gets weird. You know, like that's when it really gets weird. People are saying they're going to use actors and just replace them with AI. Maybe. All right, so McKesson put out some numbers for their results. They raised fiscal year 26 adjusted EPS guidance to 36.9 to 37.7 versus 36.75 to 37.5. So slightly better than expected guidance for McKesson. We're still dipping down. I still want to watch this 21.8 level on the NASDAQ. NVIDIA is still pushing up some, but yeah, AI is just getting so good, man. It's getting to a point where it's hard to tell what's real. You know, another thing that you have to understand is that we're on the cusp of like another tech revolution right now. Like you got to think about it like this. And this is like, honestly, this is how you really need to think about it. Every 10 to 15 years, we have some type of tech revolution in the United States or in the world. I mean, I'm sorry, in the world, not just in the US, everywhere. We have a tech revolution. And people get incredibly rich from these tech revolutions, right? Like the automobile was one. Like this has happened for centuries, really. But since the market has been here, people have gotten incredibly rich from these tech revolutions. the automobile, the computer, the internet, high-speed internet, you know, the dot-com boom, you know what I mean? Some of them have failed and struggled and all that stuff. You know, EVs, like there's all these different tech revolutions that happen. Right now, we're in the middle of a really profound one because AI is going to change how people create and digest everything. It's going to change how people use the internet in general. It's going to wildly change it. Like these aren't just small changes. These are huge changes that are profound. And it's honestly, some of them are kind of scary in terms of like, it's hard to tell what's real, what's fake, who's real, who's fake, whether a video is legit, whether it's not. And so the issue is that it's very difficult to tell what's real and what's not right now. And the scary part of that is that it's only going to get better. It's only going to get worse in that regard. So you just got to be careful. But with that said, again, like I said, we're on a tech revolution. And so smart people right now are using this to try to build businesses. They're using it to try to build things. And those are the people that get incredibly wealthy from tech revolutions. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, internet advertising is going to change. The way we query things is going to change. Everything's going to change. Assistants are going to change. Contract work is going to change. Programming is going to change and has changed. It's all changed. All right, so look, we're at 800s. I'm going to buy this dip, I think. Let's try. Again, remember, I'm not an investment professional. I'm going to add some size. But before anything else, chat, remember all this stuff on screen. I can't guarantee anything. I'm not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose money. Always make your own assessment. Trade smart. I can't guarantee anything, chat. Not an investment professional. Don't copy me. I can't guarantee a thing. Have no idea what I'm talking about. Might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. None of this is investment advice, and we're not liable if you lose. All right, guys, so we're pretty flat in this position. I might add a little bit. Like I wanted 800, which we're right at right now. So I want to see if we just retrace back up there when we rip. If we lose a little bit, it's okay. We made hundreds last Friday on payroll day. So, but I'm going to cover some of this on this retracement back up. Just we went a little bit too low, and I don't want it to go back down. We'll give it a second, though. All right, it's popping back up. Weird. Maybe we'll add back to it. That's a good pop. I think we got some room to let it pop back up, but I was thinking about adding more to it. I think I'm just gonna keep it like it is. We'll try adding a little bit more to this. There we go. So we can hold the rest pretty close to break even now, but there we go. There we go. Nice. We'll leave this one, hold it break even now. Try to get some more. So we were right. We just got faked out of our max size here, but we were right. There we go. All right, I'm going to cut it right there. So we were right. We just got faked out, but we made money on the trade total. We net money, which is good. Slow and steady cushion is what we're doing. Honestly, it's so much easier to run this setup here. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a dangerous road. I mean, look, we can put laws around this stuff, but I think it's gonna just create it like worse situations. Like we can build laws trying to protect jobs, but that's never gonna freaking work. Like, you have to understand it's never gonna work, right? We could say, oh, create laws. Once the technology's there, people are gonna use it, you know. And so you might as well let the good guys use it versus only letting people who are willing to break the law use it. You know what I mean? Like that's the issue, is that once we have a technology like this and everybody knows it, we can create laws to try to keep jobs, but that's going against the natural evolution of technology. I think you have to understand when the EV was, or when the automobile was made, people who built carriages cried about it and lost their jobs, you know, and I'm sure that was a tough thing for them. But it doesn't mean we shouldn't have created the automobile, you know. And in the same context as this, it's already out there. People already know we can use it, and so we can try to like reduce technology to try to save people's jobs, but it's not going to work, and people are going to use it anyway. And so you got to embrace it. But and the good news is that there's generally going to be other jobs that are created from this. They're just going to be more technical. It's going to up everybody's, you know, skills. So more jobs will be created from it. It's not the end of the world. It's kind of the nature of things. Right, for sure. It's a free market. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I agree, Ty. I could get down with some laws like that. I'm down with laws like that. I mean, yeah, no, that's a scary thing, Jason. We're all going to have to get a lot smarter now in the age of AI. Everybody's just going to have to get a lot smarter, you know, because you're going to need to be. You know, the scams are already really good, like really difficult to figure out. They're only going to get so much better. And so you need to be incredibly smart, careful, safe with things based off of the current state. I still drive my carriage, resist technology. Hey, I'm for it. Honestly, I'm just glad my technology is working with me today. If you guys remember on Friday, it took me about 20 minutes to get the sound working on the stream. And so I'm on a different computer now. That's just a much better computer. All right, guys, NVIDIA testing highs. I might buy this dip again, honestly. I'm going to buy this dip again. Maybe add to it down to the 200 exponential. But we'll see how it goes. I need a couple contracts here. There we go. Well, we popped up really quickly, but then we retraced. Now we're flat. Yeah, I hope it doesn't rewrite the code. I hope not. That's going to be the question, is if we can write AI in a protected way. If AI can exist without trying to save itself too much. You know, I think that's going to be the big thing, you know. If AI starts to try to protect itself, then we got real problems. So, unfortunately, that's what we got to look at. All right, so we're down to the 200 EMA. This is a big red candle though, so I'm gonna add 2 contracts to this and then see if we bounce to the 200 exponential and then cut it if we don't. We got a little bounce here. That's better. I'm gonna take some of this off just to protect the trade. And you'll see me do this a lot just for risk management purposes. I'd rather get out for a small loss and then have a better psychological mindset into these trades. There we go. See, now we're actually green versus, yeah. There we go. I'm gonna cut that there too. So yeah, we actually made money, which is nice. Small money, but we made something. We did bounce right at the 200 EMA though. I mean, we have tariff news all over. The tariff news is that the US and China are meeting in London today, probably right now, and that we're going to get updates back from them regarding potential trade stuff. So that's big news. If we get some optimistic news, market could run. If we get some bad news, like they didn't work with us, like markets could go down. So yeah, we got huge tariff news today, of course. You can read the bottom of the screen and see the big tariff news. And yeah, I'm live every day, dude. Does my mic sound bad? The gain might be up too much. All right, I turned the gain down. Let me know if that's better or worse. But when I was messing with the mic, I messed with a bunch of different stuff. So hold on. Yeah, the volume of the mic should be up pretty solid though. Is it better? Okay, let me know if that's better. Should be a little bit better. Might be a little bit cleaner. Okay, good. Yeah. Gain was up too much. Look at NVIDIA breaking highs again. So NVIDIA breaks highs. It's up to almost 143s. Is the sound better now? Let me know in chat right now, guys. Is the sound in my mic better now than it was 5 minutes ago or worse? Say better and worse in chat right now. Most people saying it's better so far, but better. That's fine. All right, cool. All right, look at NVIDIA shoot up almost at 143s. NVIDIA's up to almost 143s right now. Yeah, well, like the higher you put the gain up, the more the mic can pick up like background noises. And so the gain being all the way up can sometimes sound a little raspy. And so that's how I'm trying to figure out the sweet spot for it. If a China deal is made, what could be the upside to NVIDIA? Well, I think all markets are going to run if a China deal is made. I think that's one of the most optimistic things we could have in markets right now is if a China deal is made. China deal gets done, markets can fly. Yeah, we got crazy stuff going on overseas. And I think the way we should do AI is we should let AI create program, or we should let AI create code, but we should review that code and we should make sure that nothing weird's getting thrown in there, and we should have pitfalls against weird stuff getting thrown in there, and we should never let AI manage itself in too broad of a way. You know, I think if we do that, then AI can be a net positive for the world. I think if we start getting lazy and wanting to let it manage itself and, you know, without the correct pitfalls around that, that's where problems can come. I don't know. Tesla's interesting today. It's down a lot. It got downgraded by Baird. But a lot of the time, generally, when something's down this much, markets can, or it can rebound, and so can markets. All right, so look at NVIDIA shoot up. NVIDIA is over 143, so you can see it affecting the NASDAQ positively here. So you can see pretty good stuff in the NASDAQ here, pushing up. We'll see if it continues. You think the U.S. is going to claim good talks either way? Maybe. I don't necessarily think that. I think they've been pretty... I think they've said negative things about talks, you know, over the last few weeks. So, yeah, trade talks are starting. They're probably going on right now. We'll get updates for them, but... Trade talks between the U.S. and Chinese delegation has started in London, according to Reuters, citing sources. Yep. So, you're right. All right, so yeah, apparently trade talks in the U.S. have started. NVIDIA's up to 143s, and they're going to be discussing microchips too and AI. That's a lot of their talk stuff, I think, is going to be between them. So Pfizer CEO says the current administration has had a series of meetings with companies on most favored nation pricing. Meetings were cordial and remains at a high level, according to them. So Tesla is still dipping down over the last like 10, 15 minutes. At under 290 right now, although NVIDIA is pushing the market higher. You see NVIDIA up here, top right. Again, Tesla was downgraded today, so we got that going on. Yeah, a lot of people talking about taco trades. They've been making their own chips. I mean, we get a little mini dip. I'll buy the NASDAQ again. All right, let's see if we can buy this. Let's switch to scaling one contract, maybe add up to 4 or 5 here. 2, 3. Don't copy me. Not an investment professional. There we go. All right, we took 2/3 of that position off just because, like, we've been entering today and been very green from the start of it. So we're just jumping in quickly. We'll let the rest ride, cut it break even. But if we enter and we're immediately up 5 to 10 ticks, I'm going to take some profit based off of just how I trade and then try to hold a little piece to let it go a little bit larger. NVIDIA is still pushing higher, though. Look at this. And we'll hold the rest break even. So even if it goes against this, we'll cut it. This trade sounds sudden. No, I mean, I'm just buying this level here. You see how this is the isolated top? I'm just buying the pullback to it on an upward trend. Pretty easy. I mean, this is a big rebound back up, so this shows a lot of bullish action right here. And so when we go up and then pull back to like a previous level here, I'm going to buy it up. I think a lot of other traders do too. So yep. Oh, the trade talk. Yeah, I mean, we'll cut the rest break even. We've already made money on the trade. So some support at my level too. Nice little retracement back up there. Nvidia's still pushing up. Look at Tesla. Tesla over 290s now. A little optimism. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it right there. Pretty good. Pretty good trade so far. Just kind of building up a cushion. Look at Tesla. Tesla up to 291s. I'll review my profit later. Entertainment. I'm more so looking at like a range. And so an example of this, let me see if I can get my Epic. Do I have that on this computer? I don't think so. No. I'm more so looking at a range. And so I'm looking at small ranges right now as I build up profit. So like I'm buying this. Let's see if I can draw something here. Hold on. Looks like I got out just in time too. So I'm buying this, attacking the top of this range right here. So this top of range is like 817.50. Getting in at like 808, 810. Attacking this up here and then cutting it at the top. Looks like I got out in the right time. Let me check news, make sure nothing breaking just happened. All right, so China Vice Premier He is attending the meeting with U.S. representatives. Meeting between U.S. and China expected to extend into the U.K. evening and might spill into tomorrow, according to sources. So again, the Chinese Vice Premier is attending the meeting with the U.S. reps. Meeting between the U.S. and China expected to extend into the evening in the U.K. and might spill into Tuesday, according to sources. I don't know if that's what's dragging markets down. But something is. Yeah, so Baker Hughes is going to sell some stuff. I'm just looking at some of these new AI generated videos. There's one with like stormtroopers in it. You know, people told me, and I didn't necessarily believe them, that they were going to start making movies soon with AI. Honestly, though, after some of this, they might have been right. Michael Saylor. Again, one of the reasons Bitcoin is up, Michael Saylor buys over 1,000 Bitcoin worth over 110 million. Yeah, look at Nvidia still pushing up here, guys. It's at 143.50s. 143.50s. Craziness. All right, guys. So Nvidia up to 143.50s. All right, NASDAQ at 21,809s. I hope the two trade talks bring 2 or more big candles so I can profit gold. Now, let me take a look at gold. Speaking of gold, Nvidia's ripping up right now. Gold sitting at 33.41s. So gold's still pretty close to all-time highs, but it's been in this range for a while now. It's not really doing much. Also, guys, if you haven't already, check out TopStep. TopStep gives you a demo account. They test your skill in day trading. Most day traders lose. Shameless plug here, shameless plug. But if most day traders lose, why risk thousands of dollars for your first account? It just makes no sense to do it. I get it. You think you're going to get rich. I thought I was going to be some type of trading savant in my first, 3 weeks of trading. What a ridiculous expectation. And if you believe that about yourself, I hate to tell you, you're wrong. You're probably not going to be a trading savant guru in your first year or longer than that, really. And so why risk tens of thousands of dollars, 5K, 10K, 20K, trying to fund your own account? It makes absolutely no sense. People might hate on whomever, but it's a lot cheaper to try TopStep's funded account program in the beginning. You'll still probably lose as a new day trader because most new day traders lose. Frankly, it's a lot cheaper to lose here, usually at least. There's always outliers, I guess, but it's a lot cheaper most of the time to lose here. And you learn better because they give you a 50K demo. They test your skill with it. If you can make 3K in profit on a 50K demo without losing 2K first, so it's a reasonable 3-to-2 ratio. If you can do that successfully, following their rules, they fund you 50K. You get to keep your first 10K in profit and then 90% split afterwards. That's very similar to funding your own account. But if you fail, instead of losing your whole account like you would funding your own, you're out $50 for the base one, $100 for the middle one. It's not the end of the world, and you're still risking something. So you're learning how to trade under pressure, and they've paid out hundreds of millions. They fund thousands. It's just a beautiful way to learn. And most day traders lose. And if you go to my link, use TopStep X, you get 0 commission, no PDT rule in futures. And so there's a huge benefit of using them. 0 commission, no PDT in futures. If you want to check it out, I'll put the link up. It's just a good way to help support the channel here. And yeah, I'll put the link up right now. I understand all the stuff on screen. I'm biased because I get paid by them, but it's genuinely useful for traders. Genuinely useful. With that said, if you want to check it out, I'll put the link up. I'll also pin it to the top. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to manage everything on 2 monitors. There you go. I'll pin this. All right, so there we go. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go into that, Ryan. Yeah, I'm not going to go into that. I call that the Donald Duck song. All right, look how flat the market is, though. I think markets are just waiting for... All right, so OPEC May output rises 150,000 BPD, which is barrels per day from April to 26.75 million, according to Reuters. Pfizer CEO says the company is very quickly looking at deals for obesity assets and says a lot of players emerging, particularly overseas. Yeah, look how flat the NASDAQ is. I mean, it looks strong. NVIDIA is consistently breaking highs, and so that's good. But the NASDAQ's pretty choppy and flat. Let's take a look back at Tesla. Is this Tesla doing this? I mean, Tesla's choppy, but... Any news today? Not really. I mean, we don't have any big news. Most of the big news comes Wednesday, Thursday this week. We got like... Yeah, we don't really have much. Mexico inflation data came out. We got European bond auctions. And that's basically it. The big news is the trade talks that are going on today between the US and China. I think those are the biggest stories. And I'm looking, I just don't see anything else major today. NASDAQ's chopping sideways. I'm trying to see if we got any news. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, I'm watching some of these AI videos. They're getting crazy. Yeah, so China dropped Motion Magic AI. Motion graphics. People are starting to worry. All I see is AI videos about LA right now. I still think we got some support at like 800, 799s, 800s right here. So like if we dip down, I might buy it again. Although we've done this a couple times and it's worked, the more we do it, the less confident I am. Somebody invented an anti-mosquito device by attaching a net to a fan and placing a UV light behind it. The mosquitoes are drawn to the light and then get sucked into the net. Sounds pretty useful. Yeah, a lot of stuff's going on overseas. So NVIDIA announced a couple things: free courses on AI, data science, deep learning, and graphics. Yeah, Bitcoin. All right, so look, we just hit 800s. I'm kind of bummed I missed it. Yeah, Bitcoin's still breaking highs. Look at this. Look, here's 800. I don't know. I've bought this 800 level so much today. I'm a little nervous about buying it again. Eventually, dips stop working, and so I just don't want to get stuck in some of these. Although, look at that retracement, dude. Look at that 800. Look at this level here. Should have maybe attacked it, but yeah, go Tigers. Yes, sir. Jamie. LSU beat West Virginia. Going to Omaha. Look at that. See, I was just talking about that 800 level too. Look at where we pulled back on the NASDAQ and bounced. Honestly, we're still in such a choppy range, so I don't know if anything's good to attack right now. I think I got to just be patient. Yeah, JP Morgan calling all-time highs. JP Morgan basically says they stand by their bullish call. They think that we're 2.4% away from all-time highs on the S&P 500, and that they essentially think that we're going to break all-time highs either this week or next week. I think it depends on the tariff news, but if we get good word back from the tariff meet in London, I think it's possible. Yeah, we're 2.4% away on the S&P from all-time highs, but the NASDAQ's very flat right now because the London meeting, I'm guessing. Like the London meeting making us just kind of chop, I think, here. So we'll see. Yeah, we're close to all-time high. Let's go, Mountains of West Virginia. Well, y'all lost. I'm sorry. LSU had to beat you guys. But hey, you'll be all right. What's your opinion of today's meeting? I'm not sure. I don't know what they're going to say regarding this meeting. I'm just waiting. I'm covering the news, waiting for it. So Warner Bros. Discovery CEO says the company affirms its fiscal year adjusted EBITDA of $1.3 billion. And remember, EBITDA, which is IBITDA, is earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. So that's what EBITDA means. If you ever hear EBITDA, that's what it means. Anyways, we're testing the top of this range we've been in for the last 30 minutes. So maybe we push up. I think it depends on NVIDIA here. Bitcoin's still rising. We got Tesla stock. Flat. Apple's pulling back flat though. But Apple's up a little bit. You can see it at 205. That's pretty solid for Apple. Yeah, this is very flat for a Monday too. Mondays are usually a little bit better, but for whatever reason, we're pretty sideways today. We're just not really doing much. So Mondays are usually a little bit better than this, but hey, that's how it goes today, I guess. Yeah, we don't know when they're going to say anything, but I think the market's flat specifically because people are awaiting the outcome of the London meeting. Yeah, so we're still sitting tight at the top of the range. I don't really want to do anything. I mean, we made money today, but like, All right, look at Nvidia still pushing up. Do you think patterns hold the same way during the after hours? Because I swear I see a couple of handle on the 15 and 30 minute time frames. I think it all depends on the day. If we got big news coming out in after hours, sure. Depends on volatility is what it depends on liquidity more than anything, like volume. If we don't have anything going on in after hours, there's not really any big news, patterns are going to hold less weight because there's less traders that spot them, if that makes sense. If we got like big earnings, like Nvidia earnings or Apple earnings or something big going on in after hours or pre-market, and we got a lot of liquidity, a lot of movement, that means traders are watching for patterns, which means they're going to be able to identify said pattern and attack it, and that's going to fulfill the pattern. Believe it or not, it's all self-fulfilling. You know, it works because people think it works, but that's good enough, I think. So it really just depends on what's going on. Yeah, that's why we're sideways probably. But again, we've attacked the chop enough, but like I kind of want to buy the dip again. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, you can check out Top Step George. You know, I'm biased though because I get paid by them. Of course, they're a sponsor of mine. But I think it's genuinely useful if you're trying to learn. You just gotta have reasonable expectations. Like most day traders lose money, man. And so they'll, like, a lot of people try to sell you a course or service and act like if you buy their course or service that you could somehow just get rich. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the guys are probably just using algorithmic signals anyway, you know. So like a lot of the big guys you see on YouTube that are trying to make all this money, a lot of them are using algorithmic signals. So just understand all that. That's the truth. Yeah, Nvidia's up a lot today. I think Nvidia has some optimism regarding US-China trade talks. Like one of the biggest winners from the US-China trade deal is Nvidia, you know. So I think that's what we see going on. Sorry, I gotta scratch my back. But yeah. All right, so now we're pulling back down. Let's see if we hit 800s again. We're getting close. Almost back to that 800 level. See if we hold. All right, so here's 800s again. I kind of want to buy this, but I'll try one setup. We'll take one contract here. Just one. Kind of missed the dip though, honestly. Yeah, so we're in one. All right, so we started to bounce. I would add to it, but too much risk, I think, doing that. I'd rather just wait. Yeah, I mean, Michael Saylor came out buying a bunch of Bitcoin today, over 1,000 Bitcoin he bought. So yeah, I don't really like this. That's better, I guess. I guess we'll try to buy this dip. We got a cushion on the day we can play with, so that's good. And we got a large cushion in this account anyway. There we go. It's better. Okay. All right. I'm going to take half off there, protect the trade. Now we can hold the rest pretty close to break even. Nice. I'm going to cut it up here. Top step is it down? I'm using it right now. Let me ask. What's down on there? Yeah, it says everything's fine. Up and running. Okay, is that what it is? Let me try. Yes, we did bounce right at that 799, 800 level again, man. That level keeps holding. NVIDIA CEO speaking today? Okay, yeah, they're down for maintenance. Okay, gotcha. Alright, so we're still dipping down here. We're right at that 200 exponential, though. Still right at $800. Yeah, I'm checking the dashboard right now. Yeah, so I actually just got into a green trade, life and losses. So that trade I just got into was green. I'm no longer in it anymore. But I bought it at 800s, rode it up to almost 10 ticks, up to 810s or so, and sold. So, I mean, yeah, the dashboard might be down right now. Yeah, dashboard might be down. Yeah, the next level, if it does break under the support, is looking at the 200 exponential at 796. See if it bounces there. We've been so sideways rangy. Nvidia's starting to pull back is what's driving this market down. So if you look at Nvidia up here, you see Nvidia starting to fall down a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to be down. I really don't. Yeah, so we're gonna get ready to day trade the opening bell live here. Still looking at news showing up and popping up in markets. The president is expected to speak to. Okay. So I want to do this. All right, so we're still at that 200 exponential, kind of testing it now. Looking at our poll numbers, we did a poll this morning. We asked people, with JP Morgan calling an all-time high break in the market over the next 2 weeks, do you agree? 68% say yes, 32% say no. All right, so we're dipping down. We're at 21,796. But holding a little bit of support at the 200 EMA. All right, so look, a rebound right at the 200 EMA. That's why you got to be watching now. 1 minute chart, 200 EMA, very powerful level. Yeah, I mean, sometimes they do mislead, but that's how it goes. Big money's always going to try to make their money. Yeah, I mean, we're hyper sideways. Dude, my back feels way better. Way better. Took some time. Yeah, I think it depends on what you think the outcome of the trade talks are going to be. If you think the outcome is going to be good in the trade talks, maybe we'll get some good action today. It just depends. Honestly, they think the trade talks are supposed to go all the way to the end of the day in England, in London, like the London end of day, whenever that is. It's 8 hours away difference from us. So right now in London, it is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So we'll see what that means. Is this a dip worth buying right here short term? We're back over 800s again. Maybe we're going to bounce right here. Who knows though? Nvidia is starting to bounce too. If you look at the top right, you can see Nvidia at 143.40. So this is one of the reasons we're rebounding back up. Nvidia's coming back up. And then, yeah, look at the NASDAQ. Pop back up too. Let me know if you like this setup better. We're on StreamYard. Okay, it's 2 o'clock in London. Okay, yeah, sorry, bro. I have no idea. I'm just guessing. I thought it was 8-hour difference. Maybe it's 6. I don't know. Depends on, yeah. 5-hour difference. Okay. Yeah. You guys are right. I'm wrong. You guys are smart. I'm dumb, guys. Y'all are very good looking. I'm not attractive, apparently. All right, we're up to 805, so we did get a bounce there. Nvidia's starting to bounce too. Aquafina sponsorship. It's going great, man. Yeah. All right, guys, we got less than 30 minutes until the opening bell. Kind of a boring news day, although aside from the tariff stuff, of course. Tariff stuff makes it interesting. But we've been trading all morning. And honestly, this whole week's kind of boring until Wednesday. Wednesday, we got mortgages. We got CPI inflation data, building permit for Canada. What about next week is what I want to know. We got PPI. We got Michigan data. What happens next week? Let's take a look. Okay, so next week, we have retail sales, the Fed decision, housing starts, building permits, Philly Fed manufacturing data. So next week's honestly kind of busy. I mean, Monday's a little slow. We got Empire State Manufacturing, though. Monday, next week, retail sales Tuesday, housing starts, building permits, jobless claims. Wednesday, FOMC rate decision Wednesday as well. Thursday, the markets closed because of Juneteenth, and then Friday, we got Philly Fed. So a lot of stuff next week. NASDAQ's still pushing up, though. Coinbase just released a new Bitcoin commercial as well. I'm trying to see any other big news, breaking news coming out, but nothing yet. Honestly, though, man, I'm looking on social media, and all I see is AI ads. All right, NASDAQ's back up, guys. Everybody's saying the market was coming down. I mean, yeah, we got GameStop earnings tomorrow. Sean O'Malley did get beat again, bro. Honestly, Merab is just that good. You know, a lot of people are saying this is the death of the bantamweight division because Merab is just that good. He's never going to get beat. I kind of agree with him. Honestly, imagine if Merab was a foot taller. He'd still probably compete at bantamweight like O'Malley, but man, I'm telling you, dude, there's a difference. There's a difference between an elite grappler like Merab and an elite striker. Most of the time, the elite grappler wins. Most of the time. You always have outliers, but most of the time you get somebody like super elite like Merab in grappling, and you put him against somebody super elite in striking like Sean O'Malley, although Sean doesn't have the most power, but he's got some. But most of the time the grappler is going to win. Yeah, they said the report in the U.S.-China tariff stuff might go on all day, though, Krishna. So they might go on all day. Yeah, we're back at the top of the range again, but still pretty rangy here. NVIDIA about to break highs of the day again at 143s, though, if it pushes up a little bit more. That's why I miss Habib. Well, I mean, Habib was basically Marab at lightweight. Like, Habib was basically Marab at lightweight. You know, if you watched Marab versus Habib's cousin, Umar, very close fight. Very close fight. But I would say Marab won, but very close. But that's how you know Marab's not going to get beat for a long time. If Marab can beat Umar, that's a scary dude. That's a scary dude. Yeah, they said it might extend to tomorrow as well. We got this little pullback here, but it's hard to tell whether NVIDIA's at a double top or not. You can also take a look at Tesla here. Bitcoin obviously breaking up, but Tesla got downgraded. Yeah. I mean, yeah, she does, Sean. The way you can tell if somebody's juicing is you look at their veins. Somebody with really big veins is taking something, you know? And so if you want to see if somebody's juicing, look at their veins. If they've got big bulging veins that are just sticking out like crazy, that are like half an inch or an inch thick, they're probably on something. That's how you know. When JP Morgan says an all-time high expected downside, maybe. Yeah, it's possible. All right, so we're pulling back now. I kind of want to buy this dip again. We've gotten really lucky with dips this morning. You know what? We're going to try it right here. We got a cushion on the day we could play with. We got 20 minutes until the open. All right, we'll add to this and then try to hold some of it break even. I'm just going to take that off, lock it in. I want to see if NVIDIA keeps pushing. This is what I want. I want NVIDIA to push higher. There we go. I'm going to cut it, I guess. Pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. Well, I mean, hey, what's up, Femi? I mean, they're not definitive proof, right? Some people are just naturally at big veins, but there's certainly a correlation with like big veins, vascularity, and steroid use, 100%. But genetics also play a role, and you know. Yeah, so Tesla got downgraded by Baird, I believe, to a neutral from a. I can't remember what they were before, but they got downgraded. Yeah, we're watching the news. There hasn't really been any big market news that showed up over the last few minutes. Yeah, we got 15 minutes. I'm not even saying Kayla's using. I really don't know. I think Kayla's just big, and Kayla's a judo gold medalist. You know, 2-time judo gold medalist. So I'm not even saying Kayla's using. I think, honestly, Kayla's impressive. I don't think she's going to get beat for a long time. She's probably just big, and she's probably just been working out her whole life. Put Tesla money into Nvidia. Yeah, I mean, maybe. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, I'm torn on it, Femi. I mean, I think we can. I don't think we should automatically label anybody that. But, I mean, with women, the more obvious tell is voice. You know, they got a super deep voice. You know, that's probably the more obvious tell. Vascularity can be genetically, you know, present, but voice is different. Tesla's meme coin? I don't know about that. I think Tesla, Elon, yeah, I mean, Elon attached himself to a politician and then had a falling out with that politician. Although, even prior to this, Tesla hasn't really had the best year. Tesla's down like a quarter of its value this year. So, I mean, even still, it's not good. Tesla, to start the year, was at what, 400? It's now at 300, so it's down 25% this year. All right, look at the NASDAQ dip back down here. So, I mean, even without the political stuff, Tesla's had a tough year. Yeah. Well, yeah, Sam, I mean, there's a correlation with, it has to do with body fat and vascularity, you know. Yeah, no. Yeah, no, I feel you, Femi. I get it, brother. You're probably right. I mean, you might be right. I don't know. You probably know more about it than I do, for sure. All I've heard is that big veins are a sign, you know. Yeah, so right now they say the meeting's going on right now. It's not the president, it's other US representatives for trade with the US. They're in London doing a meeting with China as we speak right now. Now, we don't know what's going to come from this meeting, maybe good things, maybe nothing. If nothing happens, we're probably going to get negative reactions. If they're honest about that, nothing happening. If we get optimistic stuff, market might run. And I think the whole market is kind of waiting on their heels for this. Like, they don't really know what to do. The market's been really rangy, sideways. The range has opened up a little bit recently, but it's still pretty flat. So, I mean, if we zoom out and look at the NQ, It's been pretty sideways most of the morning. I mean, I think a lot of stuff is green on the day, except for Tesla and some other stuff, but a lot of stuff is green. So yeah, we're just kind of sitting by waiting on news to happen here, chat. And I don't know what kind of news we're going to get. I really don't. I don't know if we're going to get good news, bad news. We're just going to wait and cover it when it happens. We're watching market reactions. We're watching for market news. We got 12 minutes until the opening bell. But yeah, I don't know what kind of news we're going to get. I hope it's good. But the whole market's kind of apprehensive, sideways, choppy. You know, when less traders are interested in taking trades, market's flat. Most of, you know, of course. Oof, dude, my back was hurt for days. Do you think market's going to be red or green? I really don't know. No idea. It depends on what happens with the trade talks, and that's why the market's flat right now. It's because nobody knows what's going to happen with the trade talks. Yeah. $10 minutes left, chat. 10 minutes. We'll see what we get. Somebody thought that I was Puerto Rican where we're at right now. I've been messing with my daughter about it all weekend. Puerto Rican, you know. And so I'll tell her, hey, you want to go get tacos from my native land, Puerto Rico? You know. Ugh. Everybody else I talk to is like, bro, you don't look Puerto Rican. But, you know, hey. I like Puerto Ricans, honestly. Puerto Ricans are nice people. I've known a couple people from Puerto Rico. I'm not saying anything bad about them. I like tacos. I like Latino food, especially Puerto Rican food. I've actually had Puerto Rican food. Our last neighbor was Puerto Rican and used to make us tacos, and they were so good. Like the food he would make us was so good. He would like bring us food as a neighbor. Just a good guy, you know. Yeah, no, I know. Yes, Puerto Rico has tacos. The island is known for its vibrant taco scene, featuring a variety of authentic and delicious taco spots. Look, y'all got to educate yourselves, okay? I used to have a Puerto Rican neighbor, all right? Like his daughter used to bring our kids to school. Just a good dude, just a good guy. So yeah, anybody trying to act like my comment was bad, get out of here. Like y'all are just trying to find something to be critical about. Half the time I've never even seen the person saying it. So I mean, listen. I love all people. Nothing about it was bad, you know. Yeah, and me not knowing something about Puerto Rico wouldn't matter anyway. Like, you know. But I looked it up on Google, so apparently it must be true. It says, yes, Puerto Rico does have tacos. The island is known for its vibrant taco scene, featuring a variety of authentic and delicious taco spots. So listen, you'll be all right. The best tacos here in Houston, though, are El Rey, which are Cuban and Mexican. So. Yeah. Y'all are crazy, man. Me joking about a guy thinking I look Puerto Rican is not wrong. Nothing's bad about it. Y'all will be okay. Okay, I feel you, Eric. I get it, dude. Honestly, the market's back up to the top of the range. We are at 815s right now, 815s. That's right, Solo. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Yeah. All right, look at this drop, though. It looks like we might have had some news that came out here. Look at this drop. I don't know. We dropped really quickly down to 800 and then bounced right back up. All right. Look at this drop. I don't see any news though. But something happened. The 925 imbalance, that's what it was. Okay, appreciate it. Yeah, it's the MOC. It's the MOO. It's not the MOC. MOC is market on close. This is the market on opens. This is the MOO, is what this was. Nah, the best. Yeah, GameStop earnings are tomorrow as well. I'm curious to see what they're going to bring us, though, honestly. GameStop, where's GameStop at? Last time I looked at it was at 30s. We're at 21,810s. Will we break out of this range, though? Honestly, it's really going to depend, like I've said 1,000 times, on whether we get trade news from London updates, which we might or might not, honestly. Yeah, I'm not gonna short right now. We're at the top of the range, but we're 3 minutes into the opening bell, and so I just don't want to short too much. Look at this drop right before the opening bell. Yeah, I'm just gonna put it out there. If you're accusing me of something I didn't do, I'm just gonna ban you. You know, I'm not gonna sit around and argue with you about it. I have to look up the imbalance. It is, let me see if I can find it. Chainlink just had some news. It's titled the MOO. I know how to find it. So the MOO imbalance was, no, they didn't post it. Most of the time this group posts it. Hold on, let me see. No. We got less than a minute. Hold on. Okay, so the MOO. See, I don't see anybody posting it yet. Weird. Usually they post it, but for whatever reason they're late today. It came out 4 or 5 minutes ago. But yeah, I don't see it anywhere, unfortunately. Maybe Eddie was posting it. All right, here's the opening bell, guys. We got the opening bell soon. Yeah, I mean, me joking because some kid said I looked Puerto Rican, and then me saying I like the tacos from there is not bad at all, you know. And anybody trying to make it bad is just trying to stir stuff up. You're gonna get banned quick here trying to. All right, 143.60 for Nvidia. Nvidia just broke highs of the day at the opening bell. Yeah, so look, we went up and now we're coming right back down. I got to put up Tesla here. All right, look at Nvidia though. Nvidia up to almost 144. Thank you, Kaiser. Yeah, 100%. All right, we're up to 144. I want to see if Nvidia starts testing all-time highs. Yeah, it depends on if the China deal gets done. All right, look, we're dipping down here. We're at 21,780s. All right, now we're retracing all the way back up. So Tesla's falling down. If you want to know why we're flat at the open, Nvidia is up and Tesla's down. I think these two have a lot of influence over markets today. Nvidia CEO believes Nvidia stock will be worth over 5,000 to 10,000 per share. I don't know about that, bro. I mean, maybe if it splits 1,000 times, but that's a long way out. Nvidia just broke highs again though, got up to 144.29. Yeah, I'm looking at more news. I don't see any other breaking news regarding markets though. Why is Hood down so much? Because Hood's not getting added to the S&P 500. So they were talking about adding Robinhood stock to the S&P. They decided not to. And so it kind of missed that bid. And that's probably why Robinhood's down. At least that's what I heard this morning. I can't confirm it's true, but that's what I heard this morning. Yeah, so it's rejected from the S&P. Let me see where Robinhood's at right now. $70. That's still pretty good for Robinhood. Honestly, I remember when Robinhood was $12. Like last year in August, Robinhood was $12 a share. So Robinhood being at 70, it's not bad. Although it is down a little bit, but hey, that's life. Yeah. All right, so look, we're testing lows. We just crack lows. Or no, not lows, I'm sorry. Look at Tesla come back though. So Tesla's starting to come back. I almost want to buy this. How much time? Yeah, we're 5 minutes in. I'm gonna buy this. Hold on, wait. I got too many windows up. Hold on. There we go. I'm gonna buy this. I'm kind of buying a low at the daybreak though at the opening bell, so it's kind of risky, but we already have a pretty nice cushion on the day here. We might add more to it too. We'll see. Hey baby, they can see you. So it'll be all right. All right, so we're gonna add more to this. I'm taking a risk right now to try to build some cushion on the day. So we got 3 contracts here. Let's take 4 and then leave it at that. And then give it some time. NVIDIA's right at like a pivot line. So let's see if we pop up. There we go. Yes, there we go. All right, good. Now we can really hold this pretty flat. Let's see if we go up more. Nice. I'm gonna cut that right there. All right, so how much did we make on that trade? We made $30, $40, $50 just now. Up about 100 or so on the day, give or take. We don't know if what the tariff news is going to be. We don't know if it's going to be good or bad news. In all honesty, we really don't. All right, look at Tesla though. Tesla's kind of sideways. We got NVIDIA at 143s. All right, so now we're testing lows again. I don't know if I want to buy the 200 exponential bounce on NVIDIA or not. No, that's Carol. Yeah, she doesn't want to, like, this is my room right here. She doesn't want y'all looking into this room. So she's closing the door on you. Yeah, I'm looking at Tesla push up. It's at 287s. NVIDIA at 143s. Is the Trump Elon feud over? I don't freaking know, bro. I don't know what they're doing. Honestly, they both kind of, I mean, never mind. I'm not going to go too deep into it. But they're both a little out there to me, honestly. Like, they both went from 0 to 100, and they're both a little out there, honestly. That's why I'm neutral in politics. I dislike all politicians for the most part. Doesn't matter who they are. I just don't like them. All right, do I want to buy this little dip? Eesh. Tesla looks strong. That's the only reason I kind of want to buy it. And NVIDIA's bouncing at the 200 exponential. I'll try it. We'll buy it. There you go. See if we can add to this. All right, so we're pushing back up. We're slightly green now, but I want to cut at least one of these micro contracts. There we go. We'll cut half there. I'm going to add to this too if we pull back, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to cut it right there. All right, so we've got a really nice string of trades. Since the opening bell, we're up really nicely in this account again. Our trading's got better, I think. Yeah, I don't know when we're going to get an update on the tariffs. Again, I really genuinely don't know. All right, we just hit the 200 EMA. You can see it right here at 796. Yeah, I'm not day trading NVIDIA. I'm just watching NVIDIA because NVIDIA will move markets. So if NVIDIA bounces, there's a pretty good chance the NASDAQ is going to bounce with us. All right, so we're bouncing a little bit. I'm watching 775. Tesla honestly is coming back some. So Tesla at 290s right now. I should have held that long, but it's all right. We're still up. Yeah, I mean, hopefully some of you guys are making money. I would have held this. I kind of wanted to. I'm a little mad I didn't, but it's all right. Now we're all the way back up. I mean, part of this is Tesla, right? Like, I don't know what Apple's doing. Apple might be holding. Apple's dipping down some. Here's that 800 level that we talked about all morning right here. So that's a level I'm watching. All right, so we rejected right there at the 200 exponential. I don't know if we rejected at the 200 EMA or that 800 level. They're both about the same. But yeah, no, that EMA, that 200 exponential was right here at 796, 797. So we're close. We're close. I've already made enough on the day. I'm also, the only thing though is like, okay, Nvidia's bouncing almost back up to 144. We got to take a look at Tesla, which is at 292s right now. Look at 293s, 292s for Tesla. So Tesla's rebounding and Nvidia's bouncing back. So it kind of makes me bullish. Look, we'll take one. We'll take one right here. And we'll give it a second. And then we got a 774 risk. We're kind of flat. See if we can move up there, retest that 200 exponential. All right, we're green now. That's good. Let's see if we hold. All right, look at Nvidia starting to rise. Look at Tesla rising too. There we go. There we go. We could probably hold this break even now. All right, there we go. I'm going to cut it right there. About 25 ticks higher very quickly, too. And again, what I saw here is Tesla push up, Nvidia push up. So if that happens, we're going to keep it and we're going to lock it in. Pretty nice gains here, though. We're doing pretty good. Music stop. There we go. All right, guys. Well, we're green on the day. Honestly, we've been pretty accurate. If you see some of these trades, like we get in and it immediately goes in my direction 10, 20 ticks. So we've been pretty accurate. Hopefully we hold on to it for the rest of the day. But yeah. All right, we're still pushing up. We're now over 800. So let's see if NVIDIA holds at the VWAP. The VWAP on NVIDIA is right around where we're at now at like 143.65 or so. Tesla's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green candles in a row though. So we'll see if it starts to dip down. I don't know what this song is. Circle. Yeah, I hear about Circle. I've heard about it a lot. Let's see. Circle's just crazy volatile. After the IPO, man, this thing's just flying up. This thing is up, what, 100% from the IPO for Circle? So 329%. Where did it IPO? It looks like it only IPO'd for me at 64 at the lows. It opened up the IPO at 69. That would make it up about a little bit less than 100%. It's almost double. Where'd you get 329%? Unless I'm mistaken this here. No, sorry, Fernando. Sorry, bro. Can I request a song? Nah, dude. We got to stick with royalty-free stuff. Sorry, brother. Daily pivot points. I mean, you can. I like to draw my own support and resistance, but you can. I just look at milestone areas. So like I look at whole dollars a lot, like 300, 200, 250, 275, sometimes 225, like quarter dollar or quarter hundreds, 50s. I look at those a lot. I look at like isolated highs as support and resistance. So if it's really isolated up there, I'll look at it. Isolated lows that have confirmed a bunch, you know what I mean? And so that's where we got this 800 level. It's just 800. It's also right around the 200 exponential. And it's kind of been like a milestone area in the chart if you look at it. Here's a good example of like an isolated high up there. Also at 825. So also at like a quarter number. Yeah, but that's just me. Everybody's different. Different things work. Yeah, I'm probably going to get out of here. Market's pretty flat since the opening bell. NVIDIA is very sideways. I'm not saying it doesn't wake up for the rest of the day. Maybe it does. But we'll see. Are you gonna be live when the news comes out? I mean, probably not. I'm guessing probably not. It just depends, man. I'm probably gonna close it down pretty soon. I just don't want to give back the profit. Like I've almost had. I would say I'm at least running 70 or 80% today. Let me see what I'm running today. Today I'm running 74%. 74%. And my wins are larger than my losses too. So 74%. Profit factor of almost 4-to-1. Trade win percentage is 74%. Average win is 1.3 times larger, or 1.3 to 1. Yeah. And so we did pretty good. And honestly, we're on a 1, 2, 3, 4-day green streak in this account. So we'll see if we keep it up. Here's that 800 level though. I'm curious to see if this bounce holds. But yeah, I'm probably gonna get out of here. Yeah, I'll probably post it on x.com when the news comes out as well. So but yeah, I think I'm gonna get out of here. Oof, y'all have a good day. Again, if you want to check out Top Step, I'll put the link up. Great way to help support the channel. No PDT rule in futures. You can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, Dow, the Russell. Patterns are very similar to funded account or to stocks. No PDT restrictions. You can day trade short, buy market, sell market. Very similar. Top Step gives you a 50K demo. They test your skill with it. If you pass the test, they fund you. If you fail, you only lose what you pay for it. In this case, the base one's $50 a month. If you fail, it's not the end of the world. If you pass it, you get a 50K funded account, 90% split. And again, they pay out hundreds of millions. They fund thousands. Great way to learn. Most day traders lose. And remember, guys, let me put this link up here. Hold on. Remember, all the stuff on screen, I can't guarantee anything. I'm not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose money. Always make your own assessment. Trade smart. Top Step's a sponsor of mine, so I'm biased. And yeah, there's the link right there if you want to check it out. You can also see a pin at the top of the chat. And yeah, have a good day, guys. Tomorrow we don't really have anything going on. So tomorrow we don't really have anything going on. Pretty slow. But Wednesday we got CPI inflation data coming out, which is big, you know. So we'll see what happens. But hey, I love you all. Y'all have a great day. Be safe. And I'll see you guys later. No, I'll be here tomorrow. I mean, I stream every day regardless of what's going on. Yeah, later guys. We did bounce at that 800 level though, just to clarify. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.